An unusual ship is making her way across the Arabian Sea. She has no engine, she leaves no toxic fumes. She wears colourful motifs of a twin-headed eagle of the sun, and for the past 10 days, she has been making heads turn. The Indian Navy's INSV Kaundinya left Porbandar on December 29th and is now more than halfway through her journey to Oman, a trip along an ancient trade route dating back to the 1st century, a voyage to remind the world of the great maritime trading power that India once was. Thousands of vessels traverse the Arabian Sea every day, but Kaundinya is unlike all. She is named after a Kalinga sailor king of the 1st century. She has no modern navigational aids. All she relies on are ropes, pulleys, sails made of cloth, and the grit and guts of her sailors. Kaundinya is the brainchild of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's economic advisor Sanjeev Sanyal. A 5th century Ajanta mural of a ship that bore no nails or rivets was his inspiration. A ship made of cotton, wood, and rope. What if India were to build such a craft again? Soon, and with help from the Indian Navy and others, Sanyal's vision began to take shape. A ship named after an ancient Kalingan king. A ship stitched together using old Kerala methods. So what's Goa got to do with it? I'm Padma Rao, and I'm off to the island of Diwar to find out for the Mojo Story. Diwar is one of 6 islands in the Mandovi River in Goa. In 1510, Goa was colonized by Portugal, another great naval power of the 16th century. To date, Diwar is connected to the mainland only by ferries. The sleepy and lush island is full of magnificent houses and winding roads and home to some stunning bird life. But Diwar is also home to a small shipyard belonging to Goa's Hodi Innovations. This is where Kaundinya was designed, conceived, built and released into the Mandovi last month. Prathamesh Dandekar, the managing director of the company, is passionate about the 22 months he spent working with traditional boat carpenters from Kerala to execute the contract from the Indian Navy and put the INSV Kaundinya together. Using a small model built to scale, Dandekar explains how matti wood from Goa's native crocodile bark tree was combined with anjali or wild jackwood from Kerala to build Kaundinya.
All of the planks are stacked one on top of the other. They are steel bent to get into place, and the stitching technique is quite unique. It's a double IX pattern, and the stitch is twice over. So if you see a little bit up close, it's gone this way and then gone back again. So there are two loops on each of the runs. And prior to stitching, when the plank is put either one on top of the other or butted against each other or put onto the keel, there is a mixture of fish oil and a tree sap called kundrus that is applied onto the wood along with some cotton fabric or cotton, and then the plank is put and then it is stitched from outside. And if you see, there is the first layer is of curled rope. So this is just our normal coir that's like twisted together, and then on top of which there are rounds of regular coir. So this coir is not the one you get in the market. It's salt cured. So there is a process where the fibers have been baked in salt rich soil for quite some time before the sutli is made, which is not available in the market today. So these are inherently quite strong than the suit that's available in the market. And then once this is done, then the final stitching is done. And the stitching is done with the same coir. However, it is soaked in coconut oil for quite some time before the stitching is done. And then you can see a bunch of holes that have been made here. So it's quite funny to have so many holes in a boat but these holes are all caulked with a plug is made with coir, and they are caulked. And the whole idea of this type of construction from back in the day is that the wood will soak in water. Once she is in water, there is a period where there is water coming into the boat, not like gushing in, but there is a steady stream of water coming into the boat. And as time passes, all of this wood soaks in all the water, so all of the holes, all of the joints and everything swell up, and they become watertight.
Dandekar also stocks spares for Kaundinya. There are manila ropes used for running rigging and standing rigging, and there are wooden pulleys to hoist Kaundinya's mighty cloth sails. And there's a sack full of fragrant tree sap. It's called kundrus or shallaki gum and is used along with fish oil on the joints of the stitched ship to keep her watertight.
Once the project came to us, we got to kind of designing, figuring out what is to be done, how such a boat is being built, because this is the first time in thousands of years that somebody even has taken up an initiative to build such a vessel. So it's new to us, new to anybody alive today. So that was a big challenge in terms of even starting this project. And it's quite exciting to build something that's not been built for 2,000 years. So that challenge was exciting. Figuring out what material to use, which manpower to use, how the stitching method is done, how the wood can be twisted into shape, how it can be designed, or even thinking about how she'll behave in water is all a tremendous challenge. And
the 28-year-old Goenkar is upbeat about the synergy with the Malayali craftsmen who came to Goa to work with him.
Babu Sankaran and his team are Keralites. They are stitching and carpentry teams. They're all from Kerala. They're from villages that have passed down this art from generation to generation, and it was quite a collaborative effort in terms of the building. We designed the boat with inputs from various stakeholders, from the artisans, from their prior knowledge, because the brief was to build the painting that you see in Ajanta. So there is little to no evidence besides that points to such kind of construction.
But India has a total of 9 coastal states, each with ancient seafaring traditions. So why did the choice fall on tiny Goa and Dandekar's Hori shipyard to conceive and give birth to INSV Kaundinya?
So Goa is, I think, slowly becoming a big hub for shipbuilding. Like yards in the area are building ships that are being exported as well. So overall, I think this place is, we're by the water. We've all grown up by the water, and even the traditional fishing boats, in Goa are stitched. So there is some sort of connection to the water, and we've slowly become a ship and boat building hub in the country as well. The fishing boats in Goa are stitched. So if you go to anywhere in south of Goa, these boats are still there, and you can see a similar stitching pattern on them. So there were artisans even in Goa at some point in time that built this boat, or probably all along the Konkan coast. Mm-hmm. But slowly, obviously, the art has died out, and it's only available in certain pockets.
Has Kaundinya inspired Dandekar to build more such boats as eco-friendly alternatives for cruise enthusiasts? After all, millions of tourists visit beautiful Goa throughout the year, and there are big hotels with the resources required to keep this ancient craft alive.
I don't know if such a project will ever come up again, but it would be great to build something like this. And we're always up for a challenge to build something that's not been built before. This yard's been making a lot of cool stuff for quite some time now. Yeah. So happy to open up to any new challenges.
It's been a sometimes choppy but always interesting sail for INSV Kaundinya. How does Dandekar feel as she approaches Oman, her final destination, very soon?
Once they reach, it will be a nice moment of satisfaction that all of these last couple of years have come to fruition, and she's actually been able to do a transoceanic voyage and get from place A to place B, and that kind of proves the initial hypothesis that India was a very big maritime nation. We did have these trade routes, and we had history on the seas, which until today has
been lost somewhere. But yeah, I think this boat is slowly creating its own history, and yeah, that's pretty great.